Even if you were to rise at dawn, sweat in the gym for 100 days straight, eat your proteins with militant precision, and swallow your supplements with the devotion of ritual, your muscles could still betray you. Not because you lacked effort, not because you lacked discipline, but because at night, when the body's cathedral of repair awakens, you armed yourself with the wrong tools. For years, a myth has whispered in gyms, doctors' offices, and nutrition aisles alike. Take magnesium. It will grow your muscles. It will help you recover. And while magnesium is not without value, what if I told you this belief, trusted by millions, was not the ultimate truth? Cinematic pause. A hush, like a revelation about to drop. Forget magnesium. It is not the master key you've been led to believe. There are two vitamins, humble, often overlooked, that work in synergy with your very DNA to rebuild muscle while you sleep. Two allies that act not in daylight, but in the shadows of the night, when silence reigns and your cells ignite in furious, unseen construction. The deception of magnesium is not that it has no role, but that it has stolen the stage from two far greater players. Vitamins whose true power begins when you close your eyes, whose theater of war is the dark chamber of deep sleep. And here lies the paradox. We chase strength in the gym, in sweat, in strain. Yet strength is not born in the clang of weights, but in the quiet hours between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m., when the body is not performing, but repairing. It is in those hours that your muscles either rise or wither. Tonight, we begin a different kind of journey, not through the noise of supplements advertised as miracles, but through the forgotten science of timing and truth. The myth of magnesium ends here. The curtain rises on what really builds muscle in the night. Two vitamins, ancient as the sun and soil, yet so often ignored in modern routines, will reveal themselves. But beware, for as much as there are allies, there are also enemies. Supplements that, when taken at night, turn into saboteurs, undoing the very progress you struggled for. Some of these you have likely taken this week, unknowingly weakening your body's chance to grow. The truth is both sobering and liberating. If you've struggled to gain muscle despite all your effort, it is not your fault. You have simply been walking with the wrong companions in the dark. And so, with clarity, with curiosity, with the gravity of forgotten wisdom returning, we step into the shadows to uncover the first great ally of the night. The night is more than darkness. It is not the absence of the sun. It is the workshop of life itself. When the world sleeps, your body awakens to its most sacred duty, repair. Science has shown us a staggering truth. Nearly 70% of your muscle repair and growth happens at night. Not in the hour you lift the weight, not in the moment you consume protein, but in the silent stretch between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. During these hidden hours, your body orchestrates a symphony of hormones, enzymes, and cellular soldiers who labor in silence to restore what the day has broken. Think of it this way. The gym is where you lay the blueprint. Your dinner provides the raw materials. But sleep is where the cathedral is built. Without it, the plans remain drawings, the bricks remain scattered, and the structure of your strength remains unfinished. It is here in this fragile theater of deep rest that the wrong supplement can poison the foundation, or the right one can turn recovery into rebirth. Yet most people walk into the night unprepared. They take their magnesium, convinced it will protect them, while ignoring the true guardians of muscle restoration. They forget that biology is not only about what you take, but when. The body is a clock, and every gear in it must turn at the right hour. Philosophers once spoke of night as the realm of dreams, where the spirit left the body to wander. But science now reveals a more visceral wonder. At night, your body itself dreams of strength. Every torn fiber whispers, "Rebuild me." Every cell hums, "Repair me." And nature answers, if you provide the right keys. This is why timing is not mere detail, but destiny. Those 4 sacred hours, 11 p.m. to 3 a.m., are the window when your body releases growth hormone, mends damaged fibers, reduces inflammation, and transforms dietary protein into new muscle tissue. Miss this window, and you lose the very opportunity to grow. So the question rises, what are these keys? What are the 2 forgotten allies that unlock the gates of night repair, the vitamins more powerful than magnesium could ever claim to be? Tonight we will reveal them. But first, let us begin not with the greatest, but the second, the one easier to find, more familiar to you, yet still underestimated. A vitamin not born from laboratory powders alone, but from the oldest source of strength known to humanity, the sun. Its name is vitamin D3. Imagine the sun disappearing over the horizon. Darkness falls, yet within your body the memory of sunlight still lingers, etched into your cells, waiting to be awakened. That lingering ember is vitamin D3, the warrior's light carried into the night. For too long, we've thought of vitamin D as merely a nutrient for bones, a safeguard against rickets, something children were told to get from milk. But within the hidden architecture of your muscles, vitamin D3 holds a power so profound it rivals hormones. Here's how it works. As you sleep, vitamin D binds to special receptors within your muscle fibers, called VDRs, tiny locks that wait for this very key. Once activated, these receptors send out a command. Absorb calcium, absorb phosphorus, strengthen the contractile engines of every fiber. It's as if vitamin D orders your muscles to drink deeply from the minerals you consumed during the day. But its gifts do not end there. Vitamin D signals your body to release testosterone while you sleep, the very fuel your muscles need to transform dietary protein into new tissue. Without vitamin D, this nighttime rebuilding slows by as much as 60%. Imagine spending your days hauling stone, only to find your builders asleep at night. That is what happens to muscles deprived of vitamin D3. Even more, vitamin D reduces inflammation while you rest, soothing micro-tears and calming the silent fires that often rage in aging muscles. It's not merely about growth, but protection, shielding your hard-earned strength from the decay of time. Modern research echoes what warriors once knew instinctively. Harvard followed 400 older adults with low vitamin D. After just 8 months, those supplementing with D3 gained nearly 3 pounds of lean muscle, while the control group barely gained a fraction of a pound. 3 pounds may sound small, but in the world of longevity, it is the difference between independence and frailty, between rising from a chair unassisted and waiting for another's hand. History, too, speaks in whispers. The Vikings, those storm-born warriors of the north, consumed cod liver oil during the endless dark of winter. Without sunlight, they turned to the sea, knowing its oils contained something unseen that kept their bodies strong. They did not know its name. Today, we call it vitamin D3. Think of it as a torchbearer. Even when night is at its deepest, even when the world offers no sunlight, vitamin D3 carries the light inside you. It tells your muscles, grow, repair, endure. And so, the path is clear. 2,000 to 4,000 IU with your evening meal, especially one rich in healthy fats. For fat is the lantern that carries this vitamin's flame. Vitamin D is not a luxury. It is the sun's echo in your bloodstream, the quiet watchman who patrols your muscles while you sleep. But, like every watchman, its work is incomplete without its partner. For vitamin D is the torch, but it cannot rebuild the cathedral alone. To finish the work of night, it needs the hand of another, an ancient mineral that acts as the very architect of repair. And that mineral is zinc. Picture this: a quiet evening table, the day winding down, the sky painted in twilight. Here, on your plate, lies more than food. It is sunlight, captured in flesh, oil, and root, waiting to be unlocked. Vitamin D is not only found in capsules, it is hidden in the meals we too often take for granted. A fillet of salmon, grilled until its edges crackle with herbs, contains more vitamin D than many people consume in an entire week. Every bite is a whisper from the ocean, a memory of sunlight stored in the currents of the sea. Beside it, mushrooms roasted until their edges crisp. Unlike most foods, mushrooms, like us, absorb light. They transform ultraviolet rays into vitamin D, and when you eat them, you are, in a sense, eating the sun itself. Pair them with mashed sweet potatoes, their golden flesh blended with grass-fed butter. That butter, rich in fat, does not merely flavor the dish, it unlocks vitamin D, carrying it into your bloodstream like a ship on calm waters. And then, the ancient elixir, cod liver oil. The Vikings knew it. Physicians in the 19th century prescribed it. Tonight, it can become as simple as a drizzle in your salad dressing. You may not taste it, but your muscles will. Finally, a glass of fortified milk, seemingly ordinary, yet fortified with the very nutrient your body craves. With this single meal, you have created more than dinner. You have created a ritual, a nightly offering to your future strength. Think of this meal not as calories, but as an act of reverence. For what is health, if not honoring the body that carries us through our days? What is strength, if not built from small choices repeated with intention? To eat like this is to capture the sun after it has set, to store its fire in your body so that, as you drift into sleep, your muscles do not fade into weakness, but awaken into growth. But make no mistake, vitamin D is not enough. Light must have structure, and fire must have fuel. To complete the alchemy of muscle repair, another element must join the table. It is not as glamorous as sunlight, but it is indispensable. It is the quiet architect of recovery, the mineral that directs enzymes and hormones as a conductor commands an orchestra. That element is zinc. If vitamin D is the torchbearer of light, then zinc is the architect who uses that light to build. It does not shine. It does not boast. But without it, the construction of strength collapses before it begins. Zinc is the mineral that whispers commands to more than 300 enzymes, those invisible workers who toil in the silence of your cells. As you descend into deep sleep, when your body releases its most potent growth hormones, zinc ensures those signals are heard and obeyed. Without it, the orders scatter like voices in the wind. With it, they sharpen into action, repair the fiber, rebuild the tissue, restore the strength. Imagine your muscles as a battlefield scarred from training. Protein is the army of raw recruits waiting at the gates, but without zinc, they are never deployed. With zinc, they march directly into the torn fibers, stitching together new muscle strands, weaving strength where weakness once was. And here is the sobering truth. Nearly 40% of older adults are deficient in this quiet mineral. They eat their protein, they exercise, they even rest, but their recovery stalls, their strength plateaus. It is not a lack of effort, but a lack of zinc, silently shackling their progress. The science is undeniable. A University of Michigan study tracked 120 zinc-deficient seniors for just 12 weeks. Those who supplemented with 20 milligrams daily didn't merely recover faster. They increased muscle protein synthesis by 34%. Their bodies flipped genetic switches, activating growth pathways that had been dormant. What had been fatigue became vitality. What had been weakness became resilience. But this is not a discovery of modern science alone. Thousands of years ago, in the courts of ancient Egypt, physicians prepared zinc-rich salves to heal the wounds of warriors. Their armies knew iron forged the sword, but zinc restored the soldier. A truth preserved not in textbooks, but in the resilience of those who lived to fight again. In today's world, zinc supplements offer between 15 and 30 milligrams of bioavailable power in a single capsule, up to 3 times more than the average diet provides. But timing matters. To maximize its absorption, zinc must be taken with a full glass of water, ideally 2 hours before bed. Too close to sleep, and it competes with other minerals. Too far from supplementation, and its benefits wane. Precision is everything. Think of zinc as the architect drawing the blueprints in your sleep. Without it, vitamin D shines its light, but there is no one to build. With it, the cathedral of your strength rises, stone by stone, fiber by fiber. Yet there is a darker side to this story. Because just as zinc and vitamin D can elevate your nights into a workshop of growth, there are certain intruders, supplements so common, so deceptively harmless, that can tear it all down. And unless you know their names, you may already be inviting them into your nights. There is a unique kind of frustration that only those who train and see no reward can understand. The effort is there. The sweat is real. The meals are carefully measured, the supplements faithfully taken, and yet strength does not come. The body refuses to change. It is as though you are pushing against an invisible wall. That wall, for millions, is zinc deficiency. Nearly 40% of older adults are living in its shadow. They eat protein, but their muscles cannot use it. They rest, but their enzymes remain idle. They exercise, but their hormones never fully answer the call. Zinc deficiency is the silent thief, robbing people of the reward they've earned through effort. Consider the story of Elias, a retired carpenter. For decades, he built homes with his hands, shaping wood with strength that came as naturally as breathing. In his late 70s, determined not to lose that vitality, he lifted weights 3 times a week, ate lean protein, and followed the advice of countless nutrition guides. And yet, the mirror betrayed him. His arms shrank, his grip weakened, his recovery dragged on for days. Tests revealed the culprit: zinc deficiency. Within weeks of supplementing 20 milligrams daily, his recovery quickened. Within months, his body responded as if it had been waiting for permission. He regained nearly 3 pounds of lean muscle and, more importantly, his confidence. The carpenter who once feared weakness now felt his tools steady in his hands again. This is not just about muscle mass. It is about identity, about the dignity of independence. For an older adult, a single pound of muscle can be the difference between walking unaided and relying on another's arm, between standing tall and collapsing into frailty. Zinc deficiency is not a nutritional footnote. It is the difference between freedom and dependence. On a biological level, the explanation is brutally simple. Zinc acts like a switch that turns on genetic instructions for muscle repair. Without it, those instructions stay dormant. Protein intake becomes wasted potential, like bricks left scattered beside an unfinished house. With zinc, those same bricks are assembled into walls of resilience. And yet few doctors test for it. Few conversations about aging strength even mention it, which means countless seniors suffer in silence, believing their decline is inevitable, when in truth, their bodies are simply starved of this essential key. Here lies the great irony. The very mineral ancient healers used to mend warriors' wounds now hides in plain sight, overlooked in modern nutrition. It is a lesson written across time that progress is not always about new discoveries, but about remembering old truths. But even if you supply your body with zinc and vitamin D, even if you unlock the gates of night repair, the battle is not won. Because there are enemies too, supplements that disguise themselves as allies by day, but at night become saboteurs. Taken in the wrong hours, they shatter your recovery, disrupt your sleep, and undo all the work your body longs to complete. To build muscle in the night, you must not only invite the right allies, you must also exile the hidden enemies. Every fortress has its defenders. Vitamin D and zinc are the sentinels who guard your strength through the night. But what happens when, unknowingly, you invite traitors past the gates? The truth is sobering. Certain supplements, praised in daylight, celebrated in health magazines, recommended by friends, can turn on you in the silence of night. They do not whisper encouragement to your muscles. They sabotage them. They do not restore. They dismantle. This is the paradox of health. Not everything that is good all the time. Timing transforms allies into enemies. A supplement that fuels energy in the morning can steal your recovery by evening. An antioxidant that protects you by day can extinguish the very sparks of growth you need at night. And a stimulant that sharpens your focus at sunrise can rob your sleep when the stars rise. After years of research, after treating countless patients bewildered by their lack of progress, the pattern became clear. 3 culprits surfaced again and again. 3 so-called helpers that, when taken at night, unravel the miracle of muscle repair. They are familiar, common. You've probably taken them this week without hesitation. And yet, in the hours when your body should be releasing growth hormone, repairing fibers, and laying down strength, these 3 intruders steal it all away. The first is disguised as energy's best friend, the second as the guardian of immunity, the third as the harmless companion of daily routine. But under the cloak of night, their true faces are revealed. The hour has come to name the saboteurs. At first glance, B vitamins seem like heroes. They are praised for fueling metabolism, supporting nerve health, and giving that gentle surge of energy to carry you through the day. Doctors recommend them, nutritionists endorse them, and millions swallow them faithfully, believing they are adding strength to their bodies. But here is the hidden truth. Timing makes all the difference. What empowers the morning can betray the night. When taken in the evening, B-complex behaves not like a healer, but like a thief. These vitamins, B6, B12 niacin, riboflavin, stimulate the nervous system. They quicken the pulse, stir the metabolism, raise alertness. In the light of day, this is power, but in the silence of night, it is sabotage. For when the nervous system is buzzing, the body cannot descend into the deep restorative sleep where muscle repair takes place. Muscles are not built in the gym. They are built in the shadows of slow-wave sleep when growth hormone floods the body and turns dietary protein into new fibers of strength. But with B-complex coursing through the system at night, that sacred cycle is disrupted. Growth hormone release is blunted. The door to recovery remains closed. And there is worse. B vitamins taken too late can spike cortisol, the stress hormone that actively breaks down muscle for energy. Imagine spending your days building a house only to set fire to it each night. That is the paradox of evening B complex. Consider the story of Margaret, an 87-year-old grandmother. She did everything right. She exercised 3 times a week, drank bone broth, and fueled her body with protein shakes. And yet she was growing weaker, not stronger. Her frustration was immense. How could effort yield nothing? The culprit revealed itself in a simple detail. Margaret took her B complex after dinner. The timing sabotaged her nights. Her nervous system remained restless when it should have been calm. Her body denied the deep sleep it so desperately needed. Within 1 week of shifting her B complex to the morning, she noticed improvement. Within 3 weeks, she regained 2 pounds of lean muscle and felt a vitality she thought had been lost forever. The lesson is sharp, almost cruel in its simplicity. A supplement's value depends not only on what it offers, but when it is offered. By day, B complex is fuel. By night, it is poison. This is the paradox of energy. In the morning, the spark empowers us. In the night, it robs us of rest. Wisdom is not in rejecting energy, but in honoring its time. So if you wish to build strength, exile B complex from your evenings. Take it with breakfast. Let it energize your day, and leave the night for the quiet work of repair. But the betrayal does not end here. If the first enemy is energy disguised as help, the second is protection gone wrong. A vitamin so celebrated for immunity and healing that few ever question it. And yet, when taken at night, it can extinguish the very signal your muscles need to grow. That vitamin is vitamin C. If B complex is the spark that overstimulates the night, then vitamin C is the extinguisher that snuffs out the very fire your muscles need to grow. By day, vitamin C is celebrated as a miracle nutrient, a defender of immunity, a healer of wounds, a guardian of the skin. It neutralizes free radicals, lowers inflammation, and arms the body against sickness. But at night, this very strength becomes a weakness. Why? Because muscle growth requires a spark of controlled stress. When you lift weights, you tear fibers. Those tears send a message. Repair me, rebuild me, grow me stronger than before. At night, your body responds with growth hormone and mTOR signaling, the molecular green light for protein synthesis. But when vitamin C floods the body before bed, it douses the signal. It quiets the fire of oxidative stress so thoroughly that the body never receives the call to rebuild. Studies confirm it. High antioxidant intake before sleep reduces mTOR activation, blunting the very pathway that muscles depend on to absorb amino acids and grow. In plain words, vitamin C silences the message, leaving the work undone. And there is another betrayal. Vitamin C also nudges the brain into producing norepinephrine, a chemical of alertness. By day, it sharpens. By night, it unsettles. Seniors who take vitamin C close to bedtime often find themselves restless, tossing and turning when they should be sinking into deep, slow-wave sleep. And without that sleep, growth hormone release plummets, robbing the body of its chance to repair. Consider Harold, a 79-year-old retired teacher. He lifted light weights, drank bone broth, and did everything the textbooks prescribed. But week by week, he felt weaker. His secret mistake? 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C every evening with dinner, believing it would accelerate his healing. Instead, it sabotaged it. When Harold shifted his vitamin C to the morning, the change was dramatic. His sleep deepened, his soreness faded. Within a month, he regained the strength he feared was gone forever. The lesson is piercing. Even protection has its time. A shield raised in the wrong moment can block not only danger, but also progress. By day, vitamin C is a loyal ally. By night, it is a traitor, extinguishing the very fire that makes muscles grow. If you are serious about building strength, let the night keep its spark. Save your vitamin C for sunrise and let your body's natural repair cycle ignite unhindered. But if B-complex overstimulates and vitamin C extinguishes, there remains one final saboteur. A thief so common, so accepted in daily life, that we scarcely notice its intrusion. It hides not only in coffee cups, but in pills, powders, and so-called health supplements. And it is, without question, the most ruthless enemy of all. That enemy is caffeine. Of all the enemies of the night, none is more insidious than caffeine. It is a friend in the morning, a companion at the desk, a ritual poured steaming into mugs across the world. But at night, it becomes a saboteur of the cruelest kind. Caffeine is not just a stimulant. It is a disruptor of sleep's sacred architecture. It blocks adenosine receptors, the very messengers that tell the brain it is time to rest. Instead of surrendering to the tide of fatigue, the mind is tricked into alertness. You lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, waiting for rest that never comes. And even if sleep finally arrives, caffeine cuts it short, slicing into the deep, slow wave cycles where growth hormone surges and muscle repair truly begins. Worse still, caffeine stirs cortisol, the stress hormone. By day, cortisol sharpens focus. By night, it is poison. Elevated cortisol breaks down muscle proteins for energy, undoing in hours what you worked for in weeks. Imagine a builder who, instead of laying bricks, dismantles the very walls he raised that morning. That is what caffeine does when it lingers into the night. The science is chilling. A 2020 study followed 160 older adults for 10 weeks. Those who consumed caffeine within 6 hours of bedtime lost nearly 30% more lean muscle than those who avoided it, even though both groups ate the same protein. The difference was not diet, not exercise, but sleep stolen by caffeine. And caffeine hides, not only in your coffee or tea, but in pre-workout powders, fat burner pills, and even multivitamins marketed for energy. Gloria, an 81-year-old retired nurse, learned this the hard way. She exercised faithfully, drank her evening collagen broth, and waited for results that never came. The culprit? A nighttime fat burner that secretly contained 150 milligrams of caffeine. Once she cut it, her sleep deepened, her recovery quickened, and her grip strength improved by nearly 20% in a single month. The lesson is clear, almost brutal. Caffeine is not evil, but it is bound by time. In the morning, it sharpens. After noon, it lingers as an enemy. After dinner, it becomes a thief that steals your strength in silence. So, if you wish to build muscle in the night, guard your evenings fiercely. No coffee, no tea, no hidden stimulants masquerading as supplements. Let your nights belong to rest, not restlessness. And here the truth stands complete. Vitamin D and zinc, the guardians of muscle repair. B-complex, vitamin C, and caffeine, the saboteurs to be exiled. The path to strength is not a mystery. It is a discipline of timing, a wisdom of choosing allies, and the humility to let the body do its greatest work in silence. But this is not the end. For tomorrow, a secret will be revealed, a discovery so unexpected it will change how you think about strength itself. Clinically proven to increase muscle activation by 34%, without a single repetition, without a single weight. The night belongs to recovery, but the future belongs to those willing to learn its secrets.